Hi, I'm Mike from Rock and Load, and here we are once again at the Download Festival, and I have the pleasure of talking to Chris and Brandon from the awesome Crobot. Thank you guys for talking to us today. You've just played the Jake stage. I saw quite a bit of the sets, and it was absolutely heaving. It was busting at the seams. So how was it for you?
It was a nice sweatbox in there, loaded with people that are into the riff, so more could you ask for?
Yeah. It's nice to be back on a somewhat more intimate setting, because the way it's set up in there, people are pretty close to you, We've been on the Anthrax and Volbeat tour, and it's just a bigger arena with more security, and it's a lot different feel.
Yeah, you play with Anthrax and Volbeat in the States. Was that all stadiums?
Yeah,
it's arenas. There are some smaller theaters.
Sorry, I said stadiums. I meant arenas.
Canada we did some Canada stuff, and they were a little smaller, but yeah, for the most part, huge places. Yeah.
Cool. Something Supernatural, your album, was released. What date was it released?
October 27th, I think.
Yeah. But how's it gone so far? How's sales gone? How's the reaction gone to it?
Great. I mean, we're happy with it. Everybody from label to our team, everybody's happy with it. I mean, it's crazy. It's only been out 8 months.
It feels like forever.
Yeah, it really does.
We've been with those songs for a while, But so we're excited to write for the next one.
Yeah,
cool. And have you got many songs written for the next album?
Yeah.
Or is it all written?
We've got a handful written. We're getting ready to go 3 weeks of writing right after this.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can write the rest of it and start the process.
Cool. I love song titles that have been thought about, that's out of the ordinary song titles, and you've got some pretty amazing song titles on your album. So I just wrote a couple down here. Legend of the Spaceborne Killer. What's that about?
I always loved the pandemonium that goes along with like a Godzilla sort of situation where, what if aliens were to invade? What would it be like? So it's sort of my play on that, and I think it rolled off my tongue when we were jamming the song.
And I remember he started saying that, and we all stopped and we're like, that's awesome. It's really awesome, because it's something that's creative you don't hear all the time,
absolutely. Like I said, creative song titles, you don't get them with every band, but you've got an album full of them. Again, Skull of Geronimo is another one.
Yeah.
Again, tell us the story behind it.
The story is actually there's a secret society in the States it's a conspiracy theory that the leaders of the country come from this secret society out of Yale University called the Skull and Bones, and Prescott Bush actually stole the skull of Geronimo from his grave, and suspectedly, and you have to kiss the skull of Geronimo to be initiated into the Skull and Bones. So sort of
so you read about that, and then you thought, right, I'll write a song around it.
Yeah.
Cool. One more, which I think is probably the best title on your album, Tap Dancing on a Tightrope. I love that song title.
That one is just taking a page out of Neil Fallon from Clutch's book and rolling with the words that sound good together, and syllables that sort of flow freely from each other.
Alliteration.
Yeah.
So there's no mean.
It's an inside joke. We don't have time to get into it.
Well, we may have.
Alliteration.
I forgot what I was going to say now. You just put me off totally.
Look at Jake.
That's what I was going to say. So that doesn't actually mean anything then, tap dancing on a tightrope?
It means like, it's an old saying too, I believe, of something like, tap dancing on a tightrope means that you're
walking on eggshells.
Right, okay. Yeah. Right, cool. Yeah, I'm with you now. I have heard it before, now you've said that. I reckon that you're probably, at the moment, the hardest working band in the world, because you're just constantly touring. You've found time to record your debut album and all the marketing that goes with it. I saw you on the Virgin Mary's tour in the UK. You've also played with Black Label Society in the UK. You've just done Anthrax and Volbeat in the US. You've got all these festivals. Do you find time to relax and just be yourselves anytime, or is it constant touring.
You know, I think this is who we are. You know, we live for touring and waking up every day and hitting the stage or at least jamming or writing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, we'll take like 3 or 4 days off when we're home and we're twiddling our thumbs. We're ready to get back at it. So, you know, this is really what we live for. And
it's good to have a reset button every once in a while, you know, to see the ones you love, see your pets type shit, you know.
You both got pets, have you?
Yeah.
Dog.
Pets and girlfriends.
Yeah. And they're very supportive of us, and you know, that's the key. You know, you can't have someone telling you to come home all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's someone that understands what you're doing and you know, loves it to a degree.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, you got pretty good lives at the moment, and you enjoy what you do, and your partners are happy what you do. You seem to be on the bill of every festival going at the moment. Tell us about you've got a few more festivals coming up. Is it you're doing the Steelhouse Festival? Am I right?
I don't think we're doing any festivals until like November, December.
Sorry, it's not. It's Hard Rock Hell that you're doing.
Yes.
It's Hard Rock Hell that you've got coming up, which hopefully we'll be at as
Black
well.
Label's on that, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good one. Yeah.
There's a few good bands. You got Saxon, UFO, Black Label
UFO,
Society.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's gonna be awesome.
It will.
Yeah.
I see you've got a Thin Lizzy t-shirt on, Chris. You've got. I've just mentioned Black Label Society. You've got Black Star Riders. I keep getting the two mixed up. You've got Black Star Riders playing later on today. You're going to manage to see their sets.
Well, we're
going to be busy, but we just walked over and met them, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
They were super, super sweet to us.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would love to eventually tour with those guys.
Yeah.
You know, put that one under the belt. Yeah. That'd be crazy.
You go really well together as well.
Yeah. And we're huge Thin Lizzy fans.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, all the greats like that. It's what we always go back to.
Yeah.
Listening to like Thin Lizzy, there's Paul. Look at his face. You know, Deep Purple. We were watching Deep Purple videos on the way here. You know.
So basically, your influences come from the 70s. Obviously, by the way that you play and your sound that you have, that your influences are from the 70s, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. It's like Bishop said, you know, we go back with our music, listening. It's, you know, there's a lot of great bands out there today that are doing a spin on the old sound too, like Graveyard, Clutch, Mastodon, those bands. But, you know, there's nothing like some old Sabbath or Zeppelin or, you know, Rainbow, Deep Purple, Uriah Heep. I mean, the list goes on of all those great
A lot of British bands there. Brandon, you're a huge sci-fi fan, aren't you? When did you first get into sci-fi? How did you first get into sci-fi?
You know, I think
come naturally.
I think horror was my gateway drug into sci-fi. I have been going to see horror movies since I'm like 6. I think the first movie I ever saw was Michael Myers 6, where the pregnant lady gets stabbed with the pitchfork. That was like the first movie I've ever seen in theaters. So it's like I've been raised on the horror, on the sci-fi, that ends of things, and you know, it just continues to get deeper, the wormhole.
Right.
No pun intended.
I mean, you've probably been asked these questions previously, but I've got a couple about your sci-fi. Is it an obsession? Would you say it's an obsession or just an interest? It's an interest.
I think it's a little of both. You know, I'm a really bad nerd, so I'm trying to get better at, you know, the facts and becoming Paul, our drummer, is a walking sci-fi encyclopedia.
Really?
Yeah, he's a Star Wars fanatic, and he can tell you anything about Star Wars. You know, I'm not so good at the facts and the, you know, the concretes, but I'm a huge fan of the culture, a huge fan of the genre, and there's definitely humongous sci-fi influences in everything.
So,
I do.
if you could appear, or if the band could appear in any sci-fi movie in the past, which one would you choose?
I don't know, maybe Aliens.
Chris, you can join in as well.
Aliens.
Maybe something campy too, like Mars Attacks. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. That would be good.
A funny sci-fi movie, just in the background, playing in a bar somewhere.
Like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or something like that.
Although the movie of that wasn't that clever, was it?
It will never live up to the book. Douglas Adams is just one of my favorites, for sure.
I loved the books when I was younger. And if you could write the soundtrack to any sci-fi movie in the past, which one would it be?
Wow. Let's go with 2001: Space Odyssey. That's really sort of That one moves a little slow.
Got a powerful soundtrack as it is, hasn't it?
Any type of sci-fi thing would be really cool, just because the scoring is such an interesting thing. Like, to put music and ambient tones, not even like really music, but to put tones to like different movements of creatures and weird, crazy shit. Doing a lot of stuff with effects, I could get carried away with that. It'd be really cool.
Cool. And I think we need to wrap it up. When we will next see you in the UK, what have you got lined up for the rest of this year?
We got the tour with Scorpion Child and Buffalo Summer happening in November through December. We'll be back for Planet Rockstock, Wales, in early December. So we'll be bouncing around from like November, December.
Cool. Cool. When do you next get to go home? Is it soon?
After this, yeah.
So you're heading home after this. 3 days, twiddling your thumbs, back on the road again.
It's gonna be like 3 weeks of riding.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Ready for that? Have you got a plan for when the next album's going to be released? Or?
No plan for release. Hopefully we'll get into the studio by the end of the year, but it's looking like more so beginning of the year next year we'll start some studio time.
Yeah, excellent. Looking forward to it. Thank you once again, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you. And you're on the acoustic stage soon, so I'm going to head on over and hopefully see you there.
Thanks, man.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.